Hey everyone, Theo here. Today I'm reviewing this 2-in-1 touchscreen display keyboard that can improve your productivity significantly. This is the Kwumsy K1 keyboard. First of all, disclaimer, this is a review unit provided by the company. In this video, I will just present to you my findings so that you can decide whether or not this is worth the money. There are two models for this keyboard, Kwumsy K1 and Kwumsy K2. Kwumsy K1 uses scissor switch mechanism and comes with a full row of function keys and a number pad by the side. This is priced at $359 at the time of making this review. The other keyboard, Kwumsy K2, features mechanical switches, and this keyboard does not have the function row and does not have the number pad. And this keyboard is also more expensive. It's $379, so make sure you don't get the wrong one. Let me give you the bottom line up front. This keyboard works great when paired with a desktop monitor because this gives you an additional display between the keyboard and the desktop monitor without taking too much space on the table. The alternative to getting an additional screen maybe is to get one of those portable external displays, or maybe get another desktop monitor and place it by the side, or find some way to place this between the keyboard and the desktop monitor. But those setups are not as minimalist as this setup. You may have seen this dual display functionality before with the Asus ZenBook Dual series of laptops, and those laptops are, in my opinion, the best workstation laptops around simply because of the dual display setup. Because it's very difficult to beat dual display productivity with just a single display. Dual display productivity is what you will get with the Kwumsy K1 keyboard. And the typing experience on this keyboard is pretty good. Currently I have this keyboard connected to my Mac, and this keyboard layout is actually for Windows, so it's possible to use this keyboard with a Mac, just that the command and option or alternate buttons are swapped. And there is no Mac command button here on the right side. This button doesn't do anything. The reason why I find this keyboard to be very useful is because I transfer a lot of files from my SD card to my computer, and I usually have two windows side by side so that I can drag and drop those files very quickly. And this extra display allows me to have 2 or 3 windows open separately on this extra display while I work on something else on my main display. This keyboard works fine with Mac OS, but it's even more useful with Windows OS, and I'll show you why later. Let's move on to the full review where I'll show you the things included in the box. Packaging for this keyboard is quite nice. Everything inside is well and safely packed. Let's slide this out. So this is a hard cardboard case with magnets. We have foam here to protect the keyboard. When you first unbox the keyboard, there will be a protective film on top of the keyboard. And we have the cables and other accessories here. There are 2 cables included. This is the USB-C to USB-C video cable. If your computer is using HDMI, you can use the 3-to-1 HDMI cable. So this USB-C end will go to the keyboard, HDMI will go to your computer, this USB-A will also go to your computer. This is so that you can use the touch screen, and this will go to additional power if your computer is not able to power the keyboard display. That's the quick start guide, and this is a drawstring velvet pouch for the keyboard. Design of this keyboard looks good. At the top here we have a 12.6-inch display with a resolution of 1920 by 515. The refresh rate is 60 Hz. This is a touch screen, and the glossy display is quite reflective. There is some pixelation, but the overall visual quality is still quite sharp. Color accuracy isn't that great though. I measured color support for 72% sRGB, 53% P3, and 50% NTSC, and a maximum brightness of 269 nits. The brightness is alright, the colors look alright, although I wish the colors could look better, but it's fine for my purposes. So on the right side here, we have the power button, and these two buttons are to adjust the brightness. To go into the OSD, just do a quick press on the power button, and you can use the plus minus buttons to navigate around. To go back, just press the power button a bit longer and it would go back and go back again. For the keyboard, there is a row of function keys without the function shortcuts. So these are just F1, F2, F3. And we have a number pad here, the arrow keys are here. The keyboard has backlight, but it's not very bright, but it's still usable. This keyboard uses the scissor switch mechanism and the typing experience is good. The keys have good travel and feedback. The downside for this keyboard for me would be there are no function key shortcuts except for print screen, insert, screen lock, delete and pause. Build quality for this keyboard is solid. I'm not sure what's the material that's used to build the keyboard. It feels like metal because it feels cold to the touch, but it could be plastic. Anyway, there is absolutely no flex at all. So let's take a look at the back. This is how thick the keyboard is. It's actually quite thick, but it's not that heavy. I mean, it's heavy, but it's not that heavy. We have two collapsible feet at the back, four big pieces of rubber feet with good grip on the table. One downside to this design is you can't prop up the display. So from certain angles, it can be quite difficult to see what's on the display. So to prop up the display, you actually have to prop up the keyboard using the collapsible feet, but this only props up the keyboard slightly. So it would be great if the display can prop up even further. That would be a huge improvement to usability. This is how the display looks. If you don't prop up the display, the colors are slightly desaturated. But if you prop up the display, the colors are more vibrant. And because you cannot prop up the display, to get a better view of the display, you have to sit with your back straighter, which can be a good thing for ergonomic reasons. This keyboard can obviously work with a laptop, but I don't think it works well with a laptop because you already have a keyboard here, so it's unnecessary to have another keyboard. Now this keyboard will work well with Windows tablet. This laptop that I have here happens to be a convertible, so if I convert this into a tablet or tent mode, I can have the tablet here and the keyboard in front. The included cable is not an L-shaped cable. This, by the way, is my own cable. So with the included cable, the cable will stick out like this, so you won't be able to put your tablet in front. So you may want to just get an L-shaped cable so that you can do this. Place your tablet in front, so now you can use your tablet display as well as the additional display here. Let me show you some Windows OS shortcuts that will improve usability and productivity significantly. And these are shortcuts that are available with Windows 11 22H2 update. So if you want to push a window here on the main display to the keyboard display, you can use the usual Windows arrow key to push it over. And once it's over on the keyboard display, you can move your cursor over to the expand button and this pop-up will appear, and you can use this to place the window precisely into whichever location you want. So let's place this window on the bottom left and let's drag this window down here. And now I want to place this window in the middle. I can have my browser here, but right now it's overlapping this window in the middle. So again, I can use this shortcut to place this browser to the bottom right side. So here at the bottom right where my browser is, I can play a YouTube video or I can go to YouTube Music and play music here. Let me give you a real-world example of how this can improve my productivity. So I can be working with graphic design, editing photos or videos with my main display. and I need to transfer photos or videos from my SD card to my computer, and I do that very often. So now with this additional display, I can have one window here to show the SD card folder and my destination folder here. I can drag and drop without minimizing my app that's being used here. So this doesn't break my workflow, and if I need to transfer files again, just drag and drop and go back to my work. This to me is really useful, very convenient. You see, for this use case, I don't actually need an external 15-inch display. This smaller 12.6-inch display does the same work as well, while taking less space on the table. And this is a Microsoft Surface Pro tablet. So this keyboard works great with Windows tablet because when your display is small, it really benefits to have an additional display for productivity. Alright, to conclude, I find this keyboard to be very useful. This is a good looking keyboard which is very functional. Having an external display is always very useful. So the main downside for this keyboard is you can't prop up the display further, but it's really a minor issue compared to the extra productivity you can get from an extra display. So this keyboard is pricey, but you can decide whether or not this is worth the money. Before you go, do subscribe to my YouTube channel for more reviews, and if you have any other questions regarding this keyboard, let me know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, see you guys again. Bye.